Hola, ¿qué tal amigos de Decisión de Lujo? Estamos otra vez con nuestras entrevistas y bueno, primero les voy a recordar cómo pueden seguirnos en la página decisiondelujo.com y también me pueden seguir en Twitter en Dr. Gustavo Adolfo con el hashtag Decisión de Lujo. Y bueno, voy a comenzar nuestra entrevista con una persona que me parece que es muy particular. Hello, how are you doing, Wei Guo?
Hello, Gus. Yes, thank you for inviting me to participate in your interview, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
Okay, well, you're very welcome, Wei. Where are you from?
I'm from China, and also I did my bachelor degree in Southwest Jiaotong University, Chengdu, Southwest China. And then right now I'm studying Lancaster University for my master degree in majoring in human resource and consulting.
Well, it sounds very good. Could you tell us something more about you? What was your last job, for instance?
Yeah, actually, after I graduated from Southwest Jiaotong University, I joined a Chinese state-owned company named China Railway Zhenchang Engineering Construction Company, and they have a branch office in Africa.
In Africa?
Yes, and I joined them in there, and actually it's located in Tanzania.
Tanzania?
Dar es Salaam.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I worked there at first as a translator.
So that's the way you arrived there because you were working as a translator.
That is the first job position I got as a translator.
Yeah.
And then after work there, like as a translator for 1 year, I was my boss arranged me to be his secretary, and I do a lot of things about public relationships and also legal issues.
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, I changed my job position from secretary of the general manager to HR administrator.
Wow. Well, it sounds so amazing. I don't know, like to be honest, the first thing it comes to my mind when you mention Tanzania, it's like elephants or lions. I don't know, this kind of. Tell us, what about Tanzania?
Actually, it happens to a lot of people. I think not only to you, but also to me and a lot of my colleagues and the Chinese people, because there's always a stereotype about Africa.
All right.
It's like you got an elephant, you know, a lot of wild animals, but also you might have war, diseases, and those stuff. There's a stereotype, but I think there's more than those things in Africa. If you go in there's a lot of opportunities.
Oh, really?
Including the business opportunities. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So talking about your experience there, what do you think were the challenges you face and the company faces there in Africa?
Okay. I think there are several main challenges we are facing, and the first one is, the cross-cultural things, especially about the language. Because you need to start to learn a new language.
Which language do they speak?
They speak English and Swahili. But considering about our industry, I mean, like the majority of the employees, they speak their local language, which is Swahili.
Right.
So like we have to learn before we come to that country.
Wow.
And we have to continue to learn their language after we arrive there.
Well, it sounds like very, very challenging because Swahili. It's gotta be a really complicated language. I mean, well, you're wise because you also speak Chinese, so.
I have to say it's really complicated, but it's gonna like take you 1 or 2 years to really get to so you can communicate with the local employees.
All right,
and this is the first challenge we are facing.
Yes, and I wanted to connect that part with what were the cultural challenges there? Okay,
the cultural challenges is like because in China, we like Confucianism, and for the Chinese businessmen, they like to do the business based on the family members, and a lot of stuff. So we bring actually our own mindset about the business, our understanding of business, of how to communicate with the people to a foreign land, a totally different land, but we didn't pay a lot of attention to the cross-cultural communication.
Oh, so it was
there's
an
a lot
issue.
of, there might be like some conflicts between us and the local people.
How did you solve those problems?
I think right now we are actually on the way to adopt a strategy of localization, which means like at the firstly you can decrease your labor cost, but on the other side is like you try to train and recruit the local talent.
Yes.
And you train them to be our managers, and so that they can manage their local employees. So the basic idea is try to reduce the number of the people we send to Africa.
All right.
Rather than, just instead of doing that, we try to train and recruit the local talent.
Yeah, that sounds actually very wise, because I can imagine that it would be easier to get communicated with the workers, with the employees, if you have someone that they speak their own language and they understand their own culture, right?
Yeah.
It was a very wise move.
Yes, and also because we reflect, we consider some of the world famous multinational companies. We think we try to learn from them, because they have a lot of business in China, and considering the practices they adopt, we're thinking like if we want to do business in Africa, at least first we have to think about, we have to have a basic understanding of what kind of culture, what have shaped their culture, and what is their culture. Sure. This is the basic understanding. And the second thing I think is like we must have a very open mind about the different management styles, because we cannot like take it for granted that we are from the more developed area or country, and our practice is more like developed.
Yeah, it's a two-way communication, right? So a two-way process as well.
Yes.
Oh wow, it sounds very, very amazing. Well, Wei Guo, now, what will be your next step? What are you aiming to do now?
My next step is I'm planning to become an HR professional. So actually, I know that in China, HR is still, on the way, because compared with most of the Western countries, we are still there's a long way to go for HR. Considering about the HR theory, either theory or in practice. So my next step is I'm going to join a multinational company in HR department.
Yes.
So I want to really focus on the HR in practice.
I'm absolutely sure that you will be doing really well, because that experience is amazing, and you have now this three different background of the three different cultures, because now you're in the UK, you were there in Tanzania, and of course you are Chinese. So wow, man, I'm amazed. I have to say.
Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, we have to end now, and I would like to ask you, how can we find you in internet?
Actually, I got a LinkedIn in UK, and you can, as you can see on the screen, you can just if you have any questions, so I would love to communicate with you.
LinkedIn,
it's linkedin.com/in/Wei Guo 2.
Brilliant.
That is my address.
Okay, friends, I think this is all for now. Y les voy a recordar ahora cómo pueden seguirnos en internet. De nuevo, solamente tienen que buscarnos en Twitter, DR Gustavo Adolfo, y después entrar a la website Decisión de Lujo. Muchas gracias por su atención y bueno, goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And they have a branch office in Africa.
In Africa?
Yes, and
in Africa?
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Let's see what happened. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
The popcorn.
1, 2, 3.